My family, my parents immigrated from Czechoslovakia as refugees to Switzerland and lived 20 years there, that's where I was born, and my two sisters. In 1986, they immigrated to Canada and settled in Toronto, which is where I grew up. After high school, I went to Ottawa. I went to the University of Ottawa to do my bachelor's in civil engineering, and headed out west after that. Basically, chasing skiing and life out west. My first job was as a geotechnical engineer. It brought me to Kelowna, and immediately, I was attracted by both the quality of life and the diversity of the scenery in this amazing place. I met my wife while living here. As well, got to know the community. It was interesting. Kelowna was a community that's really coming from a small community past and growing into a larger city with a lot of growing pains. There was a lot of rapid growth happening in the valley at that time, and it made me really appreciate the impact of growth that it has on the land use of the city, on how people get around, the transportation issues that they're facing, what it means for infrastructure and energy use, and how that directly then relates back to the overall quality of life in the city and in this community. I think a lot of people, it's something that people are concerned about. How do you grow in a way where you maintain all those great qualities of place as you grow? And so that motivated me actually to go and do my master's in sustainable infrastructure. I went back to Toronto, the University of Toronto, where I worked in a multidisciplinary research team. We looked at everything from the interactions of transportation land use planning with water systems and how those water systems work, and with energy use in buildings and how they overlap together in terms of resulting in the overall economic well-being of cities, but also their infrastructure costs, and that relates directly to the taxes we pay. And I think that's a really important thing for people to understand right now, is how we grow and how our cities and communities are built directly affects how affordable they are and their quality of life. After I did my master's in Toronto, moved back to Vancouver. I had a chance to work on a great variety of projects. I moved back to Vancouver just simply, that's where naturally you went for the job opportunities. But I had some exciting opportunities to work in the Yukon to do energy planning. We looked at bioenergy technologies, district heating systems, waste to energy, solid waste management. And looking at these technologies not only from a perspective of their viability, but their overall economics, right? And how well do they fit with what exactly is needed to serve the communities there. I got a job offer in Kelowna and immediately took it. And the immediate thing that I noticed was the transformation that happened since I had left. In the last 10 years in Kelowna, what we've seen is a flock of young families moving to this region, and for good reason. There's been a lot of investment in infilling the downtown core, creating vibrant Main Street, investing in active transportation and infrastructure, and also making the place more interesting through cultural experiences. And I see it as a professional, a big opportunity, not only desirable for me to raise my family here, but also to have a real impact on shaping that region and what it becomes. And I think there's a lot of people my age, and now we're seeing statistically that there's a greater proportion of young families moving to Kelowna than there is the older demographic, which was traditionally coming here. And they are here to make it their own. They want to stay here. They want to invest in this place, and they really want to shape and maintain that quality of life that brought them here.